We live in a huge world where the unknown is king. And we, human beings, dare to think that we are the only intelligent creatures. Is it true?
So, Bill, welcome to the Untravel. It's an honor for me to have you here as a researcher from the other side of the Atlantic and with the same kind of view that I have. Yeah. And first of all, yes, let's meet your person and just tell us something about you.
Well, I'm 65 years old. I've been interested in the Sasquatch / Bigfoot since the Patterson-Gimlin film, from a young age, of course. But then, I'm thinking, oh, they're out west or up in Canada. They're not around here. Well, life starts rolling. But in the early 70s, I actually saw a UFO.
Oh,
I was like
okay,
about 14 years old. And it was an early spring morning. We're a nice, bright, sunny morning. We're out at the school bus stop. And I go running back in the house and told my mom. She's there doing the breakfast dishes at the sink. And actually, the window faced the way I saw the UFO. Says, Mom, there's a UFO above Quad's house up there, which was about 3/4 mile away from us. And she's looking, she spots it, and she turns and looked at me dead serious and said, "Don't you say a word to nobody. You did not see this." I went, okay. Wow. She said, "I'm being serious. Do not say." And my mom, she's usually very open. And that kind of just caught me off guard. So I wasn't saying that. Well, I come to realize from seeing in the newspaper and the local news station, a guy that lived up near the Quats took a picture of it. Okay. Boy, did he get ridiculed. They said he threw up one of those metal trash can lids up in the air and took a picture of it. That's what it was. And I'm thinking, that ain't no way. No way am I going to see a trash can lid 3/4 mile away that was thrown up in the air. I went, okay, now I know why my mom said this.
Okay.
But as time went on, going through school, and then life took over. We had to get a job. And well, first I went into service. I got out of the service, went into the job. And I always believed in the UFOs. And I told people as an adult, yeah, they're out there. But Bigfoot was kind of put into the background. Okay. Now, I was a hunter from the time I was a teenager up to a couple years ago. I went out hunting all the time. And I started looking at different states, these tree structures, which is like the TP sticks, the twist and breaks, and the X's. I'm seeing them everywhere. I'm like, I got to do some research on this. This is bugging me. And that's what led me back into searching for Sasquatch. And I'd start researching really hard on it. But it's all mainly internet. Everything on the internet. Yeah. And there were some YouTube programs here, I'm going to say 6 years back, that is like, okay, this guy has him on his property. Oh, wow. And I'm watching. All of a sudden, oh, here it comes out of the woods. Ends the video. After the fourth time I says, this guy's a hoaxer.
Wow.
And I got a little disgusted. I says, wait a minute. And somehow I came across a couple groups on Facebook of Bigfoot groups. So I joined them. I ended up getting involved with the one, which I'm not involved with now. I'm totally out of that group. They got too big and too many chiefs. Even though I was one of the top admins, I stepped down. I said, I'm tired of fighting with people. I'm here to enjoy this research. But I got to go out on a bunch of investigations. I got to meet some great people. And one was, his name is Jack Warren. He's a great researcher. He's definitely boots on the ground. He's around my age, and you wouldn't think it the way he travels through the woods and up these hills and mountains and stuff. It's just unreal. He invited me to a camp out at Salt Fork State Park in Ohio. And that, you constantly heard, if you want to see a Sasquatch / Bigfoot, go to Salt Fork. And I'm thinking, all right, I'll go to the camp out, but I'm not going to see one. Everybody goes there. The very first day there, I met this Mike Bennett. But Debbie Preggy, me and her did a lot of research together here around where I live. She found out we were going to that camp out. She says, I'll go. So she came and set up her tent. And she already knew Mike. And Mike says, you guys want to go out for a little bit, go researching? Yeah, let's check the area out. So we went riding around for a while. We come back to camp. There was nothing. And we saw some stuff, but a lot of deer. Good food for these things. And the vegetation looked great. This was in August.
August, okay.
It'll be 3 years this August. Well, we were at the group camp area, and Mike says, let's go down the Buckeye Trail right there. Well, what we'll do, we'll go in about 90 paces, stop, look around. She has that scope, use the scope, and see what we can see. We go in about 90 paces, we stop. We're listening, we're looking. A couple little nuts or little stones come tossing up near us. From the left side, okay, maybe it's my imagination. We move up another 90 paces, stop. And Deb, she's using the scope. And but a couple of those nuts and stones come up from the left again, right near us, and Debbie caught it. She's like, something's being thrown at us. Something dropping out of the trees. I didn't want to spook her. We went another 90 paces, and it happened again. And she says, I'm scared. I said, you and Mike stay here. I'll go about 90 paces. Give me the scope. I'll scope it out. If I see anything, I'll wave you up. If I don't, I'll call you up. I go up about 90 paces, and I kneel down, and I'm going like this with the scope. And out of the corner of my right eye, I saw a little movement. I turned and looked. 15 feet inside the wood line, I'm on the trail, but 15 feet from me, right inside the wood line. And there it was. It was knelt down, leaning in, looking at me like this. And I went, and my heart started coming out of my chest.
Okay, yes, I imagine.
And I stood up, and it stood up. And now a panic hit me. And I don't get scared. I really don't. I get startled once in a while, but I never got scared until that day, or evening, actually. And all I can think of was back up, get out of here. And I start backpedaling. And I got about halfway back to Mike and Debbie. I'm saying light because it was just getting dark. And it turned and started going down into the woods down over the hill. I'm going, light, lights, lights. And Mike finally realized what I was saying. He turned on his big spotlight. And and I got back to him and said, "You see it? Did you see it?" "I saw Bigfoot's ass." "What?" And he started laughing. He said, "Yeah, it was going down over the hill. I saw it." But what that did was brought me down a couple of octaves from being, I was paranoid, and I ain't going to deny it. And so he says, "You want to go follow?" I'm like, "No." I already saw it. I don't want to follow it. At that point, I'm done. I'm done.
You were really scared of that.
Yes, I was. But I'll tell you about that too. We go back up, and Mary Fabian she came too when she found out we were going to be camping there. She said, "Oh, I'll be there." And she's up by her truck. And we go up, and Debbie says, "Bill just saw one." And she looked and she did. I went, "Yeah." And I started telling her. She's, "Oh, calm down, Bill. Calm down." I guess I was really all over the place with it. And so I told her. She says, "Well, yes, I do know you did see one. We've been out together enough on different events and expeditions. You saw one." "Yeah, no shit. I saw one. And don't give me, don't." And she says, "Take deep breaths, relax." I said, "I am relaxed." She says, "No, you're not." So, yeah, I didn't. I thought I was. But then I started thinking about it. And it's like, wait a minute. I was scared. How was I scared? Why was I scared?
Yes.
I don't get scared.
I was going to ask you that. Yes. Why?
And the size of it.
Yeah. That
It was
helps.
on where it stood up. The next day, a group of us, not just me, but a group of us went and measured up on that tree. And it was around 7 foot. Exactly, I don't know, but it was around 7 foot.
Well, it's big.
Yeah, well, the shoulder was about 4 foot across. So,
Yeah.
and the muscle tones on it was awesome. Arnold Schwarzenegger had been happy, you know. But yeah, I just couldn't believe it. I saw the trapezes, and they were just huge. You couldn't see no neck. You saw the trapezes. And I didn't look in the eyes. I believe the eyes were dark, but I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
The skin tone was dark brown. The hair was dark brown, but not as dark as the skin. And when it turned and started down over the hill, it walked like Patty from the P&G film. It really did. And it's like, but it was making good strides, man. It was moving quick. By the time I got to Mike and Debbie, you could see it as it's going down off that hill, and then it was gone.
Okay. So he just follow his own path, like Patty, like we saw in the movie, and then he just
took off.
went away.
And there's a native thing they call counting coup, which the First Nation people here, they do it that it's a right of manhood. See how close you get to someone without them knowing you were there, where you can actually touch them and disappear real quick. And I believe that's what it was doing.
Okay.
And I honestly, because that's what I believe it was doing, because it was not aggressive. It definitely didn't show no fear. But I think I busted it at its own game. But that's still close enough for me.
But still, it was not, it was not with that scary look that make you thinking that he was going to harm you or something.
Exactly. No? I just didn't know. And with my military experiences and my life experiences, I actually ran in the middle of a gunfight and snagged a little kid up out of the street. That these two guys were shooting at each other. And this kid was sitting in the street, didn't know where to go. And I ran right through the bullets, and I hear a few of them whiz past me. And I'm grabbing it. I wasn't afraid. I just wanted that kid out of the way. And stuff like that.
But life, Bill, life prepare you for that.
Yes.
That kind of things you are capable of,
Yeah, exactly. And I suffer from PTSD from my sighting. I did. And it wasn't just because I saw it, it's because the fear it gave me. I figured that out after about 3 weeks of serious thinking. I didn't even want to go back in the woods for a little while, But I got some phone calls from known researchers over here in the States. They called and talked to me about it because they heard I was having a hard time dealing with it. And from Mary Fabian, Mary told them and said, she says, and Bill's a great researcher. He checks everything out. And he's great in the woods. We don't want to lose him. And so she had different ones call me to talk to me about it. And they says, talk about your experience. Yes. Get it out. So it makes you feel better and it will help someone else. Yeah, right. I'm not going to talk about it. No. And that's the way I felt at that point. It was just a little over a month after my sighting. I was invited to another camp out, but it wasn't a Bigfoot research. It was a bunch of Bigfooters, but we weren't researching. We're just getting together, have a big, like one big happy family get together type deal. Mm-hmm. And you heard Daniel talk about this woman, Amy Boo.
Yes.
She's a great lady, great friend, and I love her to death. And her and Tina invited me to it, me and my wife. So we go. That first night there, Amy comes up to me. We're around the campfire. And it's a big campfire because we had like 30-some people. Mm-hmm. And the 30-some people, all Bigfooters. Some had sightings, some didn't. Amy says, Bill, would you like to talk about your experience you just had with them? She says, you don't have to if you don't want to. And I thought for a minute, everyone says I should. So, yeah, I'll try to get through it. She's okay. And she stood up and she goes, everyone, some of you know Bill, some of you don't. But Bill, just about a month ago, had a sighting. And it's his first one. He agreed to share his experience with you. So I gave him a very short version of it. Mm-hmm. And I became really good friends with the next person that stood up after me, Joe Keski. Mm-hmm. He had one that was so aggressive, it actually ran across the pond that attacked him and his buddy. Mm-hmm. And he just got out of the military when that happened. And they ran their butts off. And he's talking about it. And I put my head down and I'm listening to him. And I start crying, thinking that one for me was 15 feet away. It could have killed me.
Yes, that's
and it could have killed me, and I didn't. I just couldn't believe his was so aggressive. Mine wasn't. What's going on here? And the next evening, a bunch of them decided, let's take a walk down the trail and back up around the creek and that. You want to go with us, Bill? No, I'll stay by the campfire.
Yes. Wow.
No, I did not want to go. I stayed by the campfire and I kept feeding more and more wood on it, keep the flames up higher. But yeah, and after they all come back, we're all sitting around the campfire, and they turn around and someone saw something there. It's like it's like a church camp, and the main lodge, which was it wasn't big, but they saw something go past the lights of the bathrooms there. And okay, was it above the lights, or because the windows to the bathroom and the lights on the inside the bathroom, the windows were 6 feet up. They says whatever it was went across the top of the window, the head of it. I got up and I walked over that way, started looking. And the one lady there, she goes, "Man, are you crazy? Wonder if it was right around the corner." I said, "I looked around the corner, it wasn't there." She said, "But you ain't afraid." I'm like, "I had all you guys here." But I was cautious. I was really cautious when I walked up there. And when I went to look around the backside of the building, I was far enough away where I can jump around a tree if it comes charging at me. But I didn't see anything. And I was playing it safe from a lot of my training in the woods in the military. Now I was playing it safe. And they said, "Oh, you're just crazy, man. You don't know what it was." I said, "It could have been a bat." And the one that's seen it says, "It definitely was no bat." I said, "Shh, don't tell me that."
just keep the bat.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, that really got me going back to investigating, from the tree structures. And believe me, I can debunk a lot of the tree structures that we see out there.
Yes. Can you explain something about those? I saw the pictures on Facebook. Yes.
Well, one's I call him my mentor. 3 weeks before he took this picture of that one there that was right partway in the water, that was not there 3 weeks earlier, or even 2 weeks earlier, because he went back, him and his wife. Then another friend there, he was at Salt Fork. He found one identical to it. Now, Jamie, he sent his pictures up in Canada to a couple researchers up there, because they all study structures about the same way. And they said, "That's just like these ones here," and sending pictures back and forth. Well, I put Josh's and Jamie's up together. I says, 2 different lakes, 2 different structures, but they look identical. And the people up in Canada and a few other ones around here says could be a fish trap. Fish will swim in there, and it give them a reason to snag the fish up. That makes sense.
Yes, but it's still very similar to a teepee, right?
Yes, like a teepee structure. Exactly. Now, we have several of them in our research area, and Jamie's been documenting. Me and Jamie researched the same area, and he's been documenting these structures. When I find one, I send him a picture of it. Says, "Have you seen this one?" "Yeah, I saw that last week." Oh, man, and stuff like that. But I tell him where I find it at and the whole 9 yards. He does the same with me.
Okay.
But that one was weird, because that's right before I went back in the hospital that last time. That was the day before that we were there, and it was not there. We did find a track there. Jamie did have an experience, one of his first experience with the Sasquatch in that area. So that gives us a lot of things to think about. And and try to figure out, okay, is this related or not? I'm actually pushing it could be related. Now, I've seen structures humans built for a blind to go hunting. Well, on Pennsylvania, they're not allowed to do that, but people still do it.
Okay.
I find the X's that people talk about, 9 times out of 10, I debunk them because that's a natural fall, whatever. But the ones that really pique my curiosity, it's the ones that are 20 feet in the air with the root ball and the dirt still attached in the air, making the X.
Exactly.
A human ain't going to do that.
No. It's kind of impossible.
Yes. The twist and breaks on some of these branches and that. And they're green. And they're 1.5 inches around. No human can grab it and do that. I don't care. Homes here are built with 2x4s, which is 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches. And if they build a home with a 2x4, of course there's a bunch of them, but the strength of one 2x4 can hold up so much. So it's going to take a lot of pressure to break that and twist it when it's green. So those ones are very interesting to me. Because you can tell if it was weather or another tree come down and it twisted and broke it when another tree fell against it. But if it's just twisted, a bear could do that. No, bears don't have opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
We don't have gorillas around here. So come on. Yeah. So I look at it, I study it. I had a group of 3 newbies that just wanted to learn how to investigate out with me on one investigation. And Mary Pavey said, you got to teach them. You're going to sit in the truck, you're going to make me teach them. Okay. I'm teaching them my way. She says, go for it. You do great. Okay. And they thanked me for it afterwards. But I had them looking at a couple different tree breaks that we found in there. And the first one, I go, tell me, what do you think? Is this natural? Weather? Could have been another animal. There was some damage on the side of it, like a deer rubbed its antlers on it. It caused a weak spot. Or what? Tell me. They're looking at it. Oh, that's not natural. It's not weather either. Okay, what do you think? We think it might be. I went, no, not at all. I says, did you look close? And the lady that was with us, it's rotted in the middle. I went, exactly. There you go. Then we came up with another one. We couldn't debunk it. We could not debunk it. And they're trying. They're trying real hard. It could have been weather. I said, it's still green. That wasn't weather. I said, there's no other trees around that's damaged. I said, that's a possibility. Oh, wow. Then we walked maybe 20 feet from it. Their turkey feathers laid, about 4 of them laid crisscross on each other with turkey bones. Just the bones laying on top of the 4 feathers. I took pictures of that. I went, no, something ain't right here. That if a coyote got it, the stuff been spread all over. The bones would not have been picked clean and stacked up like that. And there ain't going to be no human going to sit there and eat a raw turkey.
Yes, exactly.
So, and they got excited. I had a friend of mine, because this was 2 hours away from where I'm at. I used to live in that area. Me and him and his brother are all real good friends. And he knew I was coming, so he wanted to get out in the woods and check things out too, even though he's not a Bigfoot researcher. But he lived in the woods like I did. And he went on his own way. And then he calls me on the phone and said, "You need to come here. You got to see this." "Where are you? You left us behind. You went your own way." He says, "Up to where that sighting was, where it came up off of 51 there." I went, "I'll be right there." And the other three wanted to go. I says, "No, check this area out a little bit. The power line's right over there." I says, "And just go out on the power line, check the trails." I says, this is probably nothing. This is Micah's first time, but he knows the woods. That's why I didn't worry about it. It was a nest. He found a nest. And of course, we got pictures of that too. We took pictures. And no human is going to put some of those big logs in there by themselves to make a hunting blind.
Yes.
Then I looked up off to the one side, and there was a hunting stand. I went, "What?" Right near this nest. So I talked to a few people, and they told me they found out that the Sasquatch does build a nest right near a hunter's blind or a hunter's stand. And they know about the time of year they're going to be up in them. So they use the nest for birthing or whatever. I believe it's just for birthing, not just to sleep and hide. But that's my belief. But I couldn't figure that one out. I said, why would they have something like this and then a hunter's stand there, which was 25, 30 yards over. And they told me that. I said, "Oh, okay, that really did make sense." So a couple other people told me that. That's how they found them. Okay, so there's some logic to this.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. And that's what I like, because we all share our information with each other, so we can learn more. And hey, this old dog, he can still learn, and I do my own podcast, and that's what I tell the people. I'm just trying to learn.
Yes.
And then share the information that we get.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, because I really want to know. I says, the Bigfoot phenomenon is just crazy. You got people that buy the Bigfoot emblems and all that, puts on their cars. I talked to a few of them. "Oh no, we just like it." "Oh, okay, well here's my card. I got my own group." "Do you really look for them?" "Yeah, I actually saw one." "What? Oh no, what? Yeah." So you got the people that got the decals on their vehicles, and they don't look for it. Now, I got a question for you, Vera. This is a very serious one.
Okay.
Once they find a body and actually show it to the world that they have it, would you quit researching?
Sorry, you need to rephrase again.
If they actually presented a body of a Sasquatch, are you done researching Sasquatch?
No, never. Not. It's not only with the Sasquatch. It's with any other. I don't like the word paranormal, because for me everything is normal. The only thing is that we don't know everything. So
Exactly.
right? So, but let's name that paranormal with all the creatures, wherever, if people believe on them or not, even if we have a proof, we are not going to stop searching for more.
The South American monkeys, the gorillas in Africa, in the last 100 years, they've been discovered. You know, but to me, just presenting a body does not tell us the story.
Exactly.
It just proves that they are out there to the non-believers. I believe because I know. No, I know. I don't believe. I know now. I always believe, but now I know. I still want to know what they're doing, how they're doing, why they're doing the whole spectrum there.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just I'm like a cat. I'm very curious.
Well, I'm exactly like that also, Bill. So I kind of understand you. And my idea about the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch, is that they are probably much more like us than like an animal, a monkey, a gorilla,
yes,
whatever.
Yes, I believe they're very intelligent.
Yeah.
I've been asked, do you think they're flesh and blood? Or do you think interdimensional? Or do they jump through portals? And I look at them and say, okay, what I saw, I perceived as flesh and blood.
Okay.
Did it get transported up to the USS Enterprise? I don't think so. I don't know. Did it jump through a portal? I did not see it do that. I don't know. This is the stuff we got to find out.
Yes.
Do I believe in the, as they call it, the woo?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's a possibility till it's proven. And then science catches up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not a woo person because I believe what I saw was flesh and blood.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I was only 15 feet from it, and it didn't put off no smell. It didn't growl.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. To me, it's very interesting to figure this all out.
Okay. And don't you think that we could have more than one kind? That one was flesh and blood, right?
It's a possibility. Anything's a possibility with this whole phenomenon. It really is. Did it come from outer space? I don't know.
Okay. Yes.
I don't know, and I want to find out. We're going to be doing an expedition in the Allegheny Mountains here in Pennsylvania this summer. We were there last September. We heard stuff, but any real activities in that area we was at, not really. But there's a lot of weird stuff that does happen up there, as people put it. And between Bigfoot, the UFOs, orbs, that the guy shared a picture of a rake. You heard of the rake?
Yes, I know. Yes.
Yeah. He shared a picture of one he took. Dog man. Him and another guy had a sighting with a dog man. And the other guy got all scared and paranoid because he just goes, "You got us this time. I'm getting you next. Don't think you're getting away with this." And the other guy goes, "Why are you calling it out? Why are you calling a dog man out? Are you crazy?" He says, "No, because he did get one over on us."
Yeah.
He ain't going to do it again. No. Because everything I heard about dog man, except a couple of things, you don't want to mess with them. So
yeah. yes, I'm kind of starting to learn about them. I was so used to werewolves than a
Yes.
dogman. It's not something common in here until
Yeah.
I have someone speaking about a creature that when it was described, it was like a dogman, not a werewolf,
Nubius. Nubius.
And yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Nubius. So
exactly.
I actually took a dogman report between a half to 3/4 of a mile from my home. And I lived in a town, and it was down along the river. Jamie took one in the city of Fora, which is right next door to us here, actually. It was up in the one alley up there that someone saw it. Then on up the river, near our research area, there's a couple dogman reports. So I believe they might be traveling along the river to find food. Do I want to run into it? No. No. I'll take the reports. You tell me all about it. And we'll go from there. I'm getting older. I don't run as fast.
Oh, yes, I understand you. Yes, same here.
But yeah, so yeah, it's still interesting. And that's why, like with my group, that's why we cover everything paranormal and cryptid and UFOs, because all that stuff's very interesting to me.
Yeah.
And I got several researchers that are in my group, but I got associate researchers from all over the place that do research, and we work with each other. So we can find this stuff out.
Yes.
I got a couple people that does the paranormal. I got several people that does the cryptid. I got several that does the UFOs, not the UAPs that our government wants to call it.
Exactly, UFOs.
Yes. So, because all this stuff is very interesting. And the more we learn about this, the better it is for all humans. So we can understand this stuff. And they actually, I think it's in Oklahoma, the one state senator put up a $1 million bounty for anyone to bring him a Bigfoot.
Oh.
And let me tell you, he got a lot of response from all of us non-kill groups. He took that down quickly because he got threatened really good, saying, if we actually found one, it's an endangered species and you're killing an endangered species. It's your butt going to jail for putting a bounty on it. Exactly what I wrote to him. I didn't threaten his life, but I did tell him how I felt, even though I wanted to threaten his life. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Very well. Well, thank you for that.
Yes. It's interesting, though. It's interesting to hear the different stories and how they look different in different areas.
Isn't weird for you in that side of the Atlantic? United States is huge. It's like putting Europe there, a lot of countries. But you have what we almost don't have, like those big mountains, huge forests, woods, places that you can get lost forever, and we don't really have those kind of forests in here, or at least around here. Portugal, Spain, we can go to UK, the same, but still we have reports, we have sightings of the Sasquatch, the Bigfoot, the werewolves, dogman. What do you think people from your side, do they believe that we can have the same, even if this is more about, a place for humans to live, full of cities and village and lights?
Well, yes, I believe and a lot of other ones do too. There, every country got some kind of Sasquatch, Yeti, type creature.
Okay.
They're known in every state in the United States except Hawaii, but they do have a miniature version of one in Hawaii.
Okay.
That I'm just learning about. But it's not considered a Bigfoot. Because the thing, I guess, only gets about 3 to 4 foot tall. I'm thinking that could be a monkey, but
I know there's another one. I'm trying to remember the name in our side. It's also not very tall.
right.
So it's the same
I know what
family.
you're saying. Yeah, it could be the same family. And someone goes to me, well, why do you think they look different? I go, well, let's put it this way. Do we all look the same?
Exactly. Yes, that's
No. Well, there you go.
yeah.
No, there you go. And it's, you got to think about it. There's this one area in PA, north central, maybe a little more northeastern. They got at least one white one, if not more. So mine was dark. Other ones said the hair has been black or red. So I say it's in their genes what the color the hair's gonna be. Look, mine's gray. It's in my genes. No, seriously though. The different shaped heads. Mine was more of a rounded, not the concave like some of them.
Okay.
It was a little more rounded. Had the boxer's nose, as I call it, the flat nose, where you got beat on the nose once too often. It didn't have its mouth open, so I really couldn't see how the teeth were. And I wouldn't look it dead in the eyes. I was afraid to, because you don't stare down a predator.
Okay.
And to me, that was a predator, and I wasn't staring him down. I didn't want it to get aggressive.
Okay.
Not that quick. Not till I get out of there.
Yes. I understand you.
The muscle tones, the fingers. I got big fingers. I really do. My hands.
Oh,
big.
yes.
That made my fingers look small because they bigger, round, and they long. It's like, man, he can crush a couple coconuts, one in each hand with no problem. It was just can't even think of the right word to say about incredible just to see it. But the fear it put in me, someone said, well, why didn't you take a picture?
No.
Oh, yeah, right. Hey, hold still. Let me get my phone out of my pocket and get the camera on and
Forget.
Yeah, right.
I think that you could have, imagine the camera with you, prepare it to shoot, your phone, everything, but you were still going to freeze. And
you're not going to think about taking the picture. And this young kid, and this is shortly after I started telling my stories. Well, I would have taken a picture of it. I'd have the camera with me since you're out looking. I went, good luck with that. I said, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. I know the fear I went through. You like you're all brave. I never got scared to that day. So don't tell me how brave you are because I don't want to hear it.
Exactly.
I said, no, don't condemn me for not taking a picture because I got scared. It's shut them up. It shut them up, man. You don't think about taking a picture when you get startled like that. I was not expecting to see it right there. It was
Yes.
right there, leaning in, staring at me. All I could think of was get out of there, with a few choice words that was floating through my head. But anyhow, I ended up, do I want to see another one? Heck yeah. Not that close. Not that close.
Yes. If it is like,
yeah.
you know, it's that's not an option, Bill. If it have
Yep.
to happen, it will. And
Yes.
that's the thing. When we start researching for something, like I always tell everyone, we are looking for something, and that something it's also looking for us, you know.
Yes.
They just need to know that we are looking for them, and it's like they pay attention to what we are doing, and after that,
we took it. My friend Jamie and Sparky, we went out to the one's research area. I took a couple pictures inside the woodline. We're down on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at the pictures, and I look back up at that area I took the picture. I think that's one hiding behind a tree there. And I'm looking, I said, it ain't there now. And they're looking at the picture, and they're looking up, and they're like, that's a possibility. Did I see it when I was taking the pictures? No, I was just taking pictures of the woods. You know, they're good at blending. I ain't saying camouflaging. Blending in to the surrounding. Mm-hmm. They're very good at that. In that almost same areas where I had my sighting in August, but in March, me and my friend Brenda was walking in to do some research up in that area. We walked in along the wood line instead of along the shoreline, which usually there's no shore there, but the winter level of the reservoir was down. So we walked in along the wood line, went up in. We were in there about an hour checking things out. We come back out, and I said, I'm walking down along the edge of the water. We found a trackway that went over 100 yards. Of course, I tried casting it. My very first casting, I ruined the casting. So I don't have my casting from it. But it's 14 inches long, about 7 to 7.5 inches wide. It went into the ground a good 3/4 of an inch. And it is a sandy, gravelly type base there. I'm walking beside it, and I'm hardly making an indent. I'm just leaving an impression, a small impression. And the spread from heel to toe was 5 foot. It come out of one area of the woods, walked up to where it kind of curved, and you can look up and see the roadway. Turned, came back, and went up into the woods. And I followed it till I couldn't find it, no more tracks. And that was done like the night before at the longest. It might have been that morning. So that was very interesting. That really got me fired up on investigating more. And so that was interesting to find that. And finding different structures, finding different tree twists, finding prints. In the one area I researched is about an hour south of me, southeast of me, and it's a 200-acre hunting camp area.
Okay.
And there's all kinds of signs people had sightings there, and I found prints. I found different things in there. I haven't had a sighting there yet, and I'd like to. In the fall, I kind of stayed out of there because it's a hunting camp, and they'll be hunting in there. This guy owns the whole 200 acres himself. He called it hunting camp, and now it's on Google Maps, hunting camp. But uh, but he has parties there every holiday, from Memorial Day clean through Labor Day, and then he puts on other functions there. He has a nice pavilion they have up and all that, and it's a beautiful little area. It's got a great water source, a lot of trees, a lot of deers, a lot of vegetation. Uh, it's a real beautiful area. And yes, I believe there is. And someone says, yeah, the population of 9. They got
9.
that up on top of the pavilion. A population of 9. He says, yeah, we believe there's 9 of them around here.
Wow, it's a lot.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Yeah. And he calls me every couple of weeks. When you coming down, Bill? When you coming down? I've been sick, so I haven't been able to get down. But we'll be start going down again here real soon. Starting next month.
Well, it's really wonderful that you are doing all that work.
Yeah.
It helps a lot. It helps a lot of people doing the
Yes.
same research. And even if I know that not everyone agree with everyone, but still everything that we can find about all the information, it's important.
Well,
I think
like on my group page, Agents of the Unexplained, I did a live on there about, this was Wednesday. I go,
okay.
Woo Wednesday, or is it? And I put on there, I says, I perceive them to be flesh and blood. Could woo be a factor in there? It's a possibility. So if someone brings up how they believe it might be woo, extraterrestrial, whatever, do not condemn them.
Exactly.
Listen to them. Find out their reasoning. Find out, if they've seen a portal or whatever. That's what my group's about. We're not in the say, well, no, it's just like this. It's just this way. No, we're trying to find out the whole broad spectrum of it. And that's the way I feel about it. We all got to learn. And that's what we're trying to do. And that's what I've been promoting on my YouTube channel, on the podcast and that. I don't do it for fame or fortune because I ain't getting none of it.
Exactly.
This is one of the most expensive hobbies I ever been in.
That's true.
Yeah,
it
is.
Problem. Yes, it's a hobby for me also. So I kind of lose money with this.
I constantly lose money on my podcast. I pay to have it on, like, as you know.
That's true.
And I went the mid-tier with StreamYard myself. Because at times they'll shut your, even though he's doing a live, they shut the recording off at an hour.
Yes.
And a lot of my guests like to talk more than me. So that's, which is interesting. Plus you can have more guests on at one time. And we're going to start doing like a round table type deal.
Okay, yes, that's great.
And I will get you involved with it.
Yeah, well, I would love to. So
we'd love to have your intelligence and that pretty smile in our group.
Thank you very much, Bill. Okay, so I hope that I have you in here again, okay, and to speak more about your research and about everything you want to tell us about. And I'm really grateful for you to have this hour to speak with me.
Let's plan this fall because I got several big things happening this summer.
Oh, yes, just let us know about that.
Yeah.
That's important. Yes. That's really important.
Yes, definitely this fall I'll come back on and I can fill you in on a lot of stuff. We got several things that we're going out and investigate. We got several conferences we're going to be at. I'm speaking at 2 really big conferences this year. I'm scared. I really am.
No, you don't need to. You don't. It just. I don't know. Just.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Just be myself, they tell me. I says, you really want me to be myself? You're crazy. But
just do that.
Yeah.
Just don't worry about the rest.
I've presented at several conferences, but they weren't huge. Well, the 2 ones I'm going to be at this year are huge, and I'm excited, but I'm scared.
That's okay, Bill. You're important. The things that you are learning about. It's important to everyone else to hear about them. So just breathe, okay?
Oh, I will.
Well,
I will, but I'm still nervous. Now, when I get up there, I'm going, okay. Once I get going, I'm great.
I can help you with one thing. I can send you a bottle of Porto wine. Every time we need our drive license, I used to heard the old one says, you just drink a little glass of Porto before you have the test, and that will work. So I can send you a bottle.
The shirt you see behind me, that green shirt.
Oh, yes.
That's my conference I put on. I started it last year, the Penn Ohio Paranormal Conference, which covers everything paranormal and cryptid. It's not just paranormal.
Okay.
I was hoping to have 15 vendors, maybe 100 to 200 people come through. I ended up with 30 vendors and over 1,000 people come through. This year, I got 45 vendors. And
that's wonderful.
Next year, I got to go to a different venue to hold more people and more vendors because I had to turn a bunch of vendors away. But Allegheny Cellar Winery is my official wine of the conference. They're actually making with the logo on the shirt there. It's going to be on the wine bottle.
Okay,
and they're going to be selling
them.
I'm going to. I'm going to get a couple bottles of it.
and I like that shirt.
Yeah.
You need to start to sell those. Outside of the conference or something like that, or something.
We can get you some.
No. Thank you.
We can get you some. Got all the sponsors on the back, which I don't get up and turn it around. That's a pain in the butt. But so my conference, and then I'm going to be at the Ohio Bigfoot conference. I ain't speaking. I'll be there as a vendor, so I can get more information from the people that come and see a lot of great researchers. I ain't talking big name ones, but some great researchers that I do know that go there and pick their brains. I'm speaking at 5 events this year.
Oh, that's wonderful, Bill.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really wonderful.
We got 2 expeditions we'll be doing, 2 camp outs. When I got sick there, I was supposed to go to Daniel Lee's event. We were going to come over for it, but we both decided, my health will wait till next year.
Okay, I was going also, but it's in the middle of the summer. I have a lot of work, so it's really, really difficult. I'm really very sorry. I love Daniel. He's wonderful, but maybe next year.
That kid's a go-getter. He's a go-getter. I love him too. And I'm so surprised how he just went big time. Everybody loves Daniel.
We need more young people to hear what we have to tell them before we kind of disappear.
There's one young man in that group of ours that we all get, Harlan. Oh my God. For as young as he is, and he goes out by himself out into the woods and stay all night.
Oh.
And he actually, in the one area he was at, he got rocks clacking together in the middle of the night. And it wasn't constant. It was every now and then. And at first he was calling them tree knocks. And when I was listening to it, I went, that's not tree knocks. No, those are rocks clacking together. So something was down along the waterway there.
Yes.
Got the rocks and we're clacking them.
Okay.
Now this is like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, it's not normal.
And no one knew he was there, so it was no one messing with him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing he caught and recorded. And so
That's great.
Him and Daniel, these young guys getting out there. My grandson that is in the hospital right now, he loves to go out and hikes with me. And he likes the Mothman. That's who he's into. Bigfoot, who cares? Everyone likes Bigfoot. He likes the Mothman. And down in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, I'm taking him there this year for the Mothman Festival.
Yes.
And you know, keep him interested in this so he can study it too.
Exactly.
And, you know, get them fired up for it. The two younger ones, did you find a Bigfoot yet? Okay, why don't you come out and see? No,
okay.
You come tell us. Yeah, type deal.
Yes, and keep speaking with them. You just,
I do.
Just share
I show them pictures and everything all the time. Yeah.
That's the link that we need to have with the young ones, that to make sure that they are going to follow, our path.
We need them. We can't stop this research. We cannot. Yes. And that's where I am so proud of Daniel and Harlan. And it's just, these kids are go-getters with this.
That's
where
true.
You think they'd rather be on video games and hanging with their friends. No, these boys want to get out there and do this stuff.
Yes.
And so I got a lot of love and respect for those kids. I do. And it makes me happy to see this. And the one camp out we're doing next month, we got a couple young kids, girls that come with their grandmother. And they love it. And they come every time to our campouts. And they come every time so they can go exploring and try to find stuff. And I sell these little kids researcher backpacks where they got a little notepad, a pencil, casting materials with the gloves and the waters and the instructions, tape measure, and little Bigfoot on the zipper that I sell to when I go to these different events. I sold her one and gave her one so both girls can have it, because she was only going to buy the one. I said, no, both girls need it. Here, take this one.
So sweet.
Yeah, I gave more of those away to these kids than I sold. And I got some money tied up in it, but I don't care. If it's going to get those kids out there, it's well worth every dime.
That's true. One thing, Bill, you and me, we are going to be poor forever. So that's it. We just need to accept that and just.
No, see, I was born wealthy and good looking, but I squandered my wealth and I was in too many fights as a kid. So I lost my looks too. But no, seriously, yeah, I'm middle class. I'm not rich. We're surviving. I'm thankful for what I do have and able to do what I can do, and doing stuff I love to do. Now that I'm retired, I get out there more. I get to study it more. My wife says I'm married to Bigfoot now, not her.
Oh my God. so sorry for her.
She's my rock. She is. She used to get out and go everywhere with me, but her back is so messed up now. She can hardly get out, and that bothers me because we did everything together when we got out and did things and go hiking, go camping, go do different stuff. And now she can hardly do it, so it really bugs me. But she's still my rock. I tell her we got this plan, that plan, and so she scheduled things around that for me, so I can still get out there. So she's a great woman, and it's a shame that she's in the shape she is in. But that's from almost 40 years of being a nurse's aide, lifting all the heavy ones up, and screwed up her back real bad.
Yeah. Yes, I know. A huge problem. My mom used to work in the same area, and I really understand. But you keep sharing with her everything, even if she's not there. It could be the
I call
same.
her when I'm out a lot too, as much as I can. And well, she went to the camp out last year with us in April, and she actually had her first sighting. I missed it. I was there, but I missed it. I was over this way, and she was with a couple other people right here, and they got first time all of them got to see it, and it's like awesome because she said,
was for her.
and she goes, "I don't believe in Bigfoot, but you believe that I saw one, but I haven't seen one." Okay, that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So yes. So, that's the way a lot of people are in this world. If they don't see it, they don't believe it.
Exactly.
And
it's not like I'm not like that.
yeah.
I'm not the one. I don't really need to see to believe, because I think that I grew up learning that we have like 5, 6, 7 sense, whatever, but we just need to pay attention to ourselves, to the feelings we have.
Okay.
So
yes, you're 110% right. Pay attention to your senses, your feelings, and I tell people, trust your gut.
exactly.
When you're out in the woods, trust your guts. You're out on the street, trust your gut. Your gut don't lie. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right.
Exactly.
So, I agree with you. And, and I tell everyone, my solace is the woods. Is the woods. I'm more relaxed. I can smell and hear things better.
That's true.
And I enjoy it. But I have a hard time not being able to get out like I should this past year.
I know.
And that's where I start feeling like I'm getting better from the problems I was having. Even though I wasn't better, I felt like I was. I got out and I knocked myself back down again. And that's why it's 6 to 8 weeks that I haven't done anything.
Well, you will.
And
I know. You will. Don't worry. You are going to be.
My conference is March 30th. After that, duct tape to this chair is cut.
Yes, please.
I'm out. I'm gone.
Exactly. Just go out.
Yeah.
Yes. I really understand you, Bill. It's like my soul, it's really outside completely in the woods.
Yes.
Being in the middle of the city, it's not living. It's like surviving.
That's all.
That's it.
I agree 110%. I bought this house for my daughter and grandkids. But at the time she was kind of struggling. We were living in the mountains, and we came back to help them. And I miss it. I'm not going to deny it. I miss it big time. But I wouldn't have it no other way. With my grandkids right here, we know they're safe.
Exactly.
And even though it's a pain in our butt, because hey, we're the living babysitters. But I can't actually say that because mom and dad do a lot with them, but we keep a good eye on them. And like with Evan, where he's at right now, he should be coming home soon, hopefully. They're supposed to release him from the hospital. I didn't sleep last night, and I got an hour's sleep from 12 to 1 my time. And I will sleep good tonight, knowing that he'll be home. And and
you'll be fine.
Yeah, my life is my research, but it's these grandkids too. And so something happens to them, it really throws me off my game. And it did last night. Like I canceled my podcast last night because he was going to Children's Hospital.
Yes, I saw that. Yes.
And I don't cancel for anything. But boom, him, yes. Or the other two. Yes, anything happens to them, boom, I'm right there. And
exactly. They are first. First of all.
Family's first. And that's what a lot of people got to understand. Family is first. Yeah. And some people, your health. No, my family's first. My health's second.
Yes.
And it's always been that way. But anyhow,
okay.
let me throw this in here too. For all the ones that want to go out and research, just do it. Just pay attention to what you're looking at. Enjoy being out in nature. It's great. It's a great feeling.
Yes.
The fresh air, the calmness that it brings you. It really does. Unless you run into a mountain lion, then you're not so calm.
I'm so glad that we don't have those here. We don't have your kind of forests or mountains, but we don't have those lions also. So,
well some people say for our area, you got to watch out for bears.
Yes.
We got black bears. They're more afraid of us than we are of them.
Okay.
Truthfully. Unless you corner one or you get in between a mother and its cubs. Then you're in trouble.
Exactly.
But they rather avoid us more than we want to avoid them. Grizzlies a different story. That's out west. They can keep them out there. They say we don't have the mountain lions around Pennsylvania. They're full of it because I did see one that got hit by a truck alongside the road. Then they came out with non-breedable. They're non-breedable. What are you doing? Catching them and spaying, neutering them? I don't think so. Come on. They got them up in Canada, up in New York. We don't have any PA. Yes, we do. So, but get out there. Nature ain't that bad. The wildlife, they'll try to avoid you more than you will of them, unless it's a skunk.
Yeah.
And then the skunk will follow you and try to stink you up. I did have one chase me.
Whoa.
That's quite a few years ago. And let me tell you, I ran pretty fast that time too.
Okay, so let's hope that nothing of those things happen again to you. But let's hope that you just go back to the fields again and just,
Start next month, I will be out and investigating, sharing what I find. Any of your viewers, if they want, they can join the Agents of the Unexplained to catch what I put out there, or you catch my YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube.
I will leave here everything I will present your work, your channel, everything, your Facebook, because it's really, really important for you to have more and more people, looking to your work. It's really, really important.
And of course, my group on Facebook, I put it private because we had the so-called trolls coming in because it was public, and they start belittling people. And I kept debating about going private. Well, I went private, so they just got to answer a question. They answer the question, they get in.
Exactly.
So that's it. Just so we can keep the trolls out.
Exactly.
And because I wanted a safe place for the people to be.
Yes, I understand. Yes, it's normal.
All righty. Anything else you want to hear from me?
Well, I won't, but not now. So I'm just going to allow you to leave the room and say once more, thank you very much for
Thank you for having me. Very, very much.
Thank you, and take care of your kids and take care of you. Okay.
Definitely.
Please, sir. Okay.
And happy squatching, hon.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bill. So see you next time. And well, anything you need, just let me know. Okay.
I definitely will. Definitely will.
Okay.
Thank you, Vera.
Thank you.